The next episode of The Commercial Break starts now.
The heart wants what the heart wants.
Oh, yes, it does. And welcome back to The Commercial Break. I'm Bryan Green. This is my dear friend and gorgeous co-host, Kristen Joy Hoadley. Best to you, Kristen.
And best to you, Bryan.
Best to you out there in the podcast universe. I am in the absolute hellish nightmare that is looking for a new car.
Oh, yeah, that's tough.
Oh, Chrissy.
It's hours and hours and hours of research.
But this isn't like buying a car because I have a bunch of extra money and because God knows I don't have any extra money. Please send money. We ask you many times for money.
This is the car fund.
Now! Get to the chopper now! Get to Patreon now! We ask for money and our fans reject us. We give them 3 episodes and they download more than ever. So I'm just giving it to you all for free, I guess.
It's our service.
Yeah, it's our service
to you.
It's our giving
back.
It's our gift to God. Mm-hmm. We're walking in the way of Jesus. Yeah, it's not like I just came into a bunch of money or that I've been planning this for years or researching cars and I've, finally got, enough fuel in my tank to go buy a new car. It's because my engine blew up in the car that I was driving. 8 years old. I'm not going to mention the brand. I don't, it doesn't really matter, but because it happens. It doesn't really matter what kind of car you're driving. We had a V8 engine, and the V8 engines are always known to be a little finicky, especially if you're driving them around the city and stop and go. And let's be honest about it. I am not exactly the easiest. I'm not the easiest person to live with. I'm not the easiest person to work with. I'm not the easiest person to do the commercial break with. And I'm certainly not the easiest person to be driving you. So if you're a car, I'm not the easiest person to get along with because I drive a car as if my balls are on fire 24 hours a day. I drive fast. I drive hard. I stop quick. I go quick. I honk. I flick people off. I'm one of those guys waiting to be murdered by somebody over a road rage incident. That's what I am. I don't get out of cars. And I actually don't flick people off. And I will now cuss, but I cuss under my breath because my son repeats everything that I say. So when I say, what a fucking moron, he'll go, Daddy, who's a fucking moron? And then I go, son, he's a fucking moron. Yeah, he's a fucking moron. But I just drive cars so hard. But I also bought that car used, so there's no telling who had the car before me.
Could have been another you.
Could have been another me. Mm-hmm. Could have been some dude hauling up and down a mountain. I don't know. But so I'm in this unenviable position of taking the car into the shop because the check engine light came on, and I thought, it's probably like the gas cap or something. These things, it's a code that goes off.
You hope it's nothing big.
It went on 6 months ago, and it was the gas cap. So I was hoping that it was the gas cap again. Well, then the girl who's like fresh-faced, she can't be older than 21 years old, sweetest young lady, and super smart about cars. But I think this is probably the first time she's ever had to call somebody and tell them that your car is basically totaled for no good reason whatsoever.
God.
Because, I have like this, I go to the service, the dealership to get it serviced, and then I have these text alerts, and she can text me via these text alerts. And so on Saturday, I brought it on Friday. On Saturday, she texts me and she's like, hey, Mr. Green, I just got an update from the service center. Can I call you?
Let's
and
talk.
I was like, I'm fucked. Because I looked through that string of text messages and not one service advisor has ever called me ever. Mm-hmm. They're all like, oil change done, or you need to get rotors. Would you like to get that done now?
Yes.
But she calls and she's like, let me read what the technician said. I might as well have hung up the phone right then. I might as well have said, trash it. Because you know exactly what's going on. And that is that the car obviously needs a ton of work. So it needs $30,000 worth of work, and who's going to put $30,000 into an old car? No one. And that's the dealership prices, of course. I could take it to, like Sam and Bob's, ball hair wigs and foreign car service station. That's what got me in this trouble in the first place.
Yes.
I took the damn thing for an oil change. It was the pandemic. We obviously have no listeners, so we have no money. So we're not, we're just out here pissing and moaning. So
you wanted to get a good deal.
I didn't have any money.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Rather than take it to the $1,000 dealership, I took it to the Oil Change Lube and Express.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. I tell my mom to go there all the time. They're always so sweet to her. She always needs a lot of work done because they see a sucker coming a mile away. But I'm also a sucker coming a mile away because I'm not a car guy. I know enough to be dangerous, but I'm not a car guy. I pretend to be a car guy. So when they come around and they're like, you got to deviate a calf shank, you got to deviate camshaft, you got two spark plugs need replacing, and you got your timing belt, and your wheels are interconnected with your interlocking, and your overhosing is doing some things that's spilling out all over the ground. Your overhosing fluid is, your blinker fluid is completely fucked. You need more blinker fluid than I've ever seen a man need blinker fluid. Usually those things should be good for about 2,000 turns. I don't know what happened to yours, but you need a lot of blinker fluid. And I'm usually like, exactly. And what kind of blinker fluid are you putting in there?
What about the ball bearings?
Yes.
It's all about ball bearings.
It's all
these
about
days.
ball bearings. So I pretend that I know something. I'm like, well, I can probably get blinker fluid at the Kroger. Like, do I really need to pay $20 for it here? I'm just telling you, you can go to Kroger and get that. You get that blinker fluid. There'd be a discount on it now. But I've heard a lot of people who are stuck without blinkers because they didn't put the right blinker fluid in. And I'll be like, I guess you're right. How much is the blinker fluid? It's $182 for the blinker fluid and $622 for the labor.
Right, to install it.
But we can do it right now. 5 minutes. Take us 5 minutes to do it. All right, I guess so. And then they give me the cabin filter every time. Look at this cabin filter. I mean, your children are breathing in this air.
Oh, the filter.
Yeah. It basically looks like a raccoon jizzed all over your filter. What are you going to do here, sir? I can't legally put this back on the road. I have an obligation to the United States Oil Change and Lube Express Servicemen of America. In the bylaw says I can't let someone drive a car that's unsafe. I just can't let you drive this car unless you change cabin air filter and your blinker fluid. And while you're at it, a very important part of the car is basically completely shot. What's that? The overhosing. The overhosing's broken? Overhosing's completely fucked. Now,
It's shot.
yeah, now, you take this to the dealership, and they're going to charge you $6,000 for a brand new overhosing. I happen to have an aftermarket overhosing. I get it done. Tax tag and title, $4,999 for you today. We'll change it right now. You change it right now? Right now. A payment plan if you need it. You do have PayPal? You can do like PayPal Express or something like that. All right, what does the overhosing do? Oh, it basically controls the entire car.
Oh, yeah, everything.
I don't have the software that you need to check these engine lights, but I'll tell you right now, it's the overhosing. I guess go get an overhosing then, too. Need an overhosing on one. The bell rings like the tip bell at a bar. Ding, 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 ding,
Like
ding,
there's
ding.
a big sale that just got made.
Yeah, that's right.
Gong.
So I am just in a tizzy. And as we're speaking, the guy from the car dealership texts me.
No way.
Telling me I need to put more money into the transaction. So, listen. So I'm in the market for a car. I got to be honest. How many times have you bought a new car in your life?
Oh, a brand new car?
Just a new car, like a new car.
Oh, yeah.
Not like a new
Couple
car.
times.
Couple times? Mm-hmm. Okay. So,
With my dad.
Of course. I want my dad to come with me too. There is this woman that, and I'm going to give her a big shout out here because I didn't hear about her until last night. And I am so fucking impressed with this lady that I can't stand it. And I'm just in love with her YouTube channel now. It's called Car Moms.
Nice.
She's the car mom. Mm-hmm. And basically what she is, she's a mother who knows enough about cars to be really dangerous. She's super smart about cars. But she doesn't get into the weeds. What she gets into is here are the pretty features on it. Here is how it drives. Here are the safety features. And here's how your children will fit in this car.
That's important.
You have, because if you have 3 car seats or 4 car seats or 12 car seats, however many fucking car seats we have in that thing now, if you have that many car seats and you go to a dealership, finding the right configuration where those seats fit and are safe is the most important thing. And if you have 12 to 13 children, there is no car on it. There are like 2 cars that have the right configuration.
That's true.
This car mom, she's pretty, she's well-spoken, and she does it in a way that is interesting to me. Like, and I'm obviously not her target market, but I found it fascinating, and she was really knowledgeable. When we go to get a new car, I am scared. And I'll tell you why I'm scared. Because I really don't know a lot about cars. So this guy could tell me that this thing is a rocket ship you press this button and you go to space, and it's only an extra $10,000, and you must have it because it's all the rage, or it's a safety feature. If Putin throws a nuke over into Ukraine, you press this button, you go to outer space.
Yeah.
That's right. Now you're flying around with the Tesla satellites.
Well, you got to go to Consumer Reports, right?
No. Here's
Isn't
what
that the thing you do to begin with?
Here's what I've done. And you tell me if this is good or bad or indifferent.
Or car mom.
Or Car Mom. But so I go to Car Mom's, or Astrid pulls up Car Mom's, and she's showing me this, and I'm just fascinated by the information that I'm getting, by the lady and by the information that I'm getting. So what the lady says is basically the car that I was looking at that is currently at the dealership, right? But the newer model is the best car that you can get for this configuration. So I have made the decision in life after buying a number of cars. I've made the decision in life. There's one person and one person only that I trust to sell me a car, and I will only go to that person to sell that car to me because I think he's shooting me straight. He says, happy birthday, happy 4th of July, happy Kwanzaa, Jewish holidays.
Good customer service.
It's great. Every year I get a birthday card from him. I don't get a birthday card from my own fucking brothers. I get a birthday card from a guy who sold me a car 5 years ago. But he shoots me straight, and he always, at least in my experience, he's always gotten me the deal that I need. Maybe not the deal that I want, but the deal that I need.
Yeah, where there's give and take.
Where there's a little give and take, which mainly means he goes like this. He goes, brother, I got you. I got you, brother. He doesn't say boss.
Boss.
He doesn't say boss. He doesn't say
that
chief.
That would have been a telltale.
Yeah, he says brother, and I like that. And he goes, brother, I got you. What do you need? What do you need to fit into? Well, I need it to be less than $400, $500 a month. You know, if I got you 6, could you do 6? I could do 6. If you get me 6, I can do 6.
All in.
I'm going to be right back. Let me talk to my manager. I got you covered, brother.
Oh, the old talk to the manager.
And then here's what he does. He walks around the building a couple times. He smokes a cigarette.
Right.
He takes a cup of coffee. He says, I'm going to sell a car today. I got Bryan in there. You got green? You got green?
My brother Bryan's
My
in
brother
there.
Bryan's in there. He's paying our mortgage this month.
You've got green in there.
And then he licks his pen and he comes back in and he's like, dude, I am so happy. I'm not happy about the price. I'm happy about this vehicle for you and your family. That's exactly what he said to me today. I'm excited for you about this vehicle for you and your family. It's what you need. And I'd be like, yeah. And I talked to my manager and I got it down to $973. I thought we said $600. But brother, let me tell you something. For an extra $58,000, you are getting anti-lock brakes and a moonroof. Okay? You got it? You understand? You like it? All right? Is that good? And I'm like, yeah, that's really good. I got a moonroof for $58,000.
Well, the key is it fits 3 car seats. And I think I've rode in one of those car seats in the back.
Yeah, that's the thing, is if you ride with me, you're riding in a car seat. I can't fit any extra people in there. You know what, though? I actually like that because then it
True.
separates me from any
True.
bums bumming a ride to me. Hey, we're all going down to north of Jacksonville for the weekend. You want to come? Yeah, bro, cool. I'm on my way. No. Settle down on the mushroom gummies because you're driving your own car. And I like that. That makes me happy.
That's right.
Because I want to fart and sing and watch, listen to bad television while I'm driving.
TLC
TLC
is on the screen.
Oh, I love this First Dates, this UK program. I got this First Dates. It's the most amazing program. I just love it. And so it's on one of these like off-market streaming services, Tubi or whatever. And so all the way on the ride home from the lake the other day, I had it sitting in the passenger seat, and I was just listening to it because you can listen and keep up, right?
Yes.
But then every once in a while, I kind of flash down to see what the people look like. You know, they're on first dates. That's how it is. It's a show about first dates.
Oh, imagine that.
And then they put cameras all around the restaurant, microphones on every table. And so they catch the most interesting first. It's a restaurant full of first dates. They catch the most interesting ones.
Oh, my God.
And they follow
I mean,
them.
think about the pressure anyways for a
Total
first date.
fucking shit show.
And then you've got cameras everywhere.
By the way, I don't think, and then they don't give you an update afterwards. What they do say is, did they go out on a second date?
Right. Okay.
I think the batting average there is about 90% of people never make it past the first date. It's a terrible way to meet people.
Yeah.
But it's a fascinating thing to listen to. So I go, I see my boy Steve, and Steve says, listen,
Your brother.
My brother Steve, my brother from another mother, from Chicago, so at least I guess
yeah.
we were in the same. I guess we were in the same zip code at some point in our life.
You're from Chicago too?
People from Chicago are extraordinarily weird. There is a line in The West Wing that I love. The president is talking to his chief of staff, and the chief of staff says, "Well, I got to go to Chicago," and the president goes, "It's weird. people from Chicago are always saying how they can't how they love Chicago and they can't live without it. And they're never living in Chicago when they say that.
Nope.
People from Chicago are strange. We all think it's our home, but none of us want to live there. So. But anyway, so Steve from Chicago hooks me up with a deal that's way too expensive for me. But you know what? I don't have a fucking choice. Now I actually got to buy the car. What is a boy to do?
Well, I know. I mean, if you don't have a working car, then you have to get one.
We don't have a working car.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a working car. It's my mom's car.
I know. I saw that.
Yeah, that thing is not.
That's the one I was going to stick the bumper sticker on.
Yeah.
Nudist on
nudist
board.
not nudist on board.
Hi, Bryan. It's your mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi. I just want to let you know I was driving a car the other day. You know Terry from Pennsylvania?
I do know Terry from Pennsylvania. Yes, Mom. You don't have to tell me where they're from.
You know, we were riding in the car, and then someone came up and flashed their penis right on the passenger side window. I can't figure out why. It's happened 3 times this week.
She can't drive anymore, so we took her car. But the only problem is that the only car she can get into is that one. So I'm driving her home last night. I'm telling her about this kafukta situation with the car. I'm like, I'm so pissed because any available cash that I have is now going to get sucked up by this transaction. And she's like, well,
You know what you can do, honey?
what's that?
You can sell this car and then give me the money from this car so I can put it in my bank account, and then you just buy another car that you can fit into. Isn't that a good idea?
How does that help me, Mom? And which car do you... And I'm going to go car shopping for the car that you can fit into? I can't even fit my 4-month-old daughter in there. Why am I going to then look for you?
No.
I mean, I love you, Mom, but...
Yeah, that's the extra.
Yeah. My mom always is looking for... My mom is just like me. She's always looking for an angle. I think she does it innocently enough, but she's always looking for an angle. And I do love her. You know what I thought about?
I love her too.
I think I mentioned this. Back in the 96-7 The Legend days.
Ooh, taking it back.
We did... So, brief history, for those of you that are new to the show.
I just got a memory of another girl and I who were on the sales team for the Legend driving a van.
Oh, my
a big
God.
van that had 96.7 The Legend on it. I mean, remember when they were getting those things plastered or wrapped?
Yes.
Wrapped.
Yes,
yeah.
they were wrapped. Plastered.
Yeah, and driving.
No, people driving the car were plastered. The car was wrapped.
We had this big, huge van, like a passenger van. We were driving around trying to sell advertising. Look, we've got a van. We're legit.
I took that van all the way down to the road
The
Atlanta.
south side.
Yeah. At the Oil and Lube Express, the place that fucked the car in the first place. I didn't even tell you the end of that story. They put an aftermarket oil filter in the car when I got it. And I think that's what fucked the engine because the technician said that might have something to do with it. That also avoids the warranty.
Right.
So of course I can't get it paid for. So when Chrissy and I met, we were in a cluster of radio stations. It's basically a central location where they sell a number of radio stations and streaming properties. One of the radio stations, they have big sticks and small sticks. Big sticks are exactly what it sounds like, what's in Brian's pants, and small sticks are exactly what it sounds like, what's in Frankie B's pants. Big sticks reach a wide area, lots of people.
All over Atlanta.
Yeah, you can get it up in Tennessee.
Yeah.
If they turn it up enough. The small sticks reach very limited area. We're talking like 10 square miles.
A very targeted area.
Very targeted area. It's basically like an antenna, the old antennas you see on some people's roofs. That's what a small stick station is.
It's like that curved one that's an arrow
Yes.
on the back of limos.
Yes, that's it.
From the 80s.
The boomerang looking thing. Yeah. And when you saw that, you were like, ooh, they have radio technology. With the most sophisticated UHF television technology built in. Meanwhile, they have like a black and white clunky television like taped up to the roof of the limo. At least that's what we got for my homecoming.
Right.
We thought I ordered this. I never forget being so excited to order that stretch limo.
Oh, yeah.
And I got it. I got my dad's approval, and everybody agreed to pay X amount of dollars. All the guys agreed to pay X amount of dollars, and so I was the first one that got picked up because my dad had.
I can't believe your dad approved that.
He approved it, and he regretted it the second that he did. because we were all smoking cigarettes in the back and we made a bunch of burn holes. And I think he had to pay an extra $400 to get the carpet cleaned. It was a whole mess. And the guy didn't even wait to, we ended up going to a party afterwards. He was supposed to be there until midnight. And the guy didn't even wait till 11. He took off when we were in the party. Anyway, that's not the point.
Yeah.
But we get in there. And Chrissy, everything is taped together. There's literally duct tape everywhere, including the television being duct taped to the center console, and it's black and white. And even though the limo had an antenna on it, he also had the two little rabbit ears sticking out of it. But we still thought it was the coolest thing ever that we could watch television in a car.
And it changed lights probably inside. So that was a cool thing.
Yeah, you could. Well, no, there were lights. You just had to press the button to turn them on and off, and they were all white, like that awful white light that would come out of there. So
back to the small stick.
So we were on this. So I convinced the program director of this cluster of these 12 or 13 radio stations. The clusterfuck, that's right. I convinced the director of programming, the guy who was in charge of putting stuff on the air and what got put on the air. It took me months and months, but finally he got irritated with me enough. I was begging him to get on the radio. And so finally he said, 96.7 The Legend, which is a classic country station with a cume. That means how many people it could possibly reach of 20,000 people.
I was going to say 10,000, but yeah, 20,000.
And I think they were overestimating there. I think they were also counting people who could get a...
I was out trying to sell that crap.
I know. That station made like $13,000 a year. But no one cared because the antenna was on top of some guy's house and they didn't have to pay anything for it. They just ran classic country music that had no copyright anymore because it was so fucking old.
The Legend.
Not on 96.7 The Legend. Whoosh. You're listening to Atlanta's classic country leader, 96.7 The Legend. It should have said, you're listening to South Georgia's only classic country station.
Only one.
Yeah. You're listening to Peachtree City's, and maybe not even all of Peachtree City's classic country only station. 96.7 Legend. So he says, okay, dipshit, you can be on from 1 in the morning till 4 in the morning on 96.7 The Legend. If I get one phone call, one complaint, or someone downstairs, meaning the business office, tells me that it's distracting from your regular job, the game is over, bro. I basically don't want to hear from you or see you in that studio ever. And so... But you would record it ahead of time. So I wasn't actually on from 1 to 4 in the morning. I was recording it after I would get out of work.
You recruited me to record on that one too.
I did. Chrissy was in the radio station with me a couple of times too. But when I got on 96.7 The Legend, I was by myself at first, and I wanted to start doing some stuff that was fun. So because the radio station didn't have a phone line that could take calls, I started calling out. And who I would call out is I would call my mom and I would talk to her on the phone. And this was endlessly entertaining because my mom is not on purpose endlessly entertaining. She's just like one of those people.
It's just the way she is.
She's just kind of a goofball. She's just like I don't know,
sweet
a
goofball.
misfit toy. Yeah. And she doesn't, I got to get her on here. I don't even want to try and explain.
Yeah.
I've done the voice a million times. I don't even want to try to explain what my mom's personality is. But I think she would be good to answer emails from some of our fans.
I think so,
like
too.
If someone had a sexually explicit question or they wanted to know something about their partner or they're looking for life advice on something, ask my mom. Ask Bryan's mom. Because she may not know the first thing about what you're asking, but she will make it up. And that is where I get it from. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I love that. Oh.
Steve just convinced me to spend $58,000 more than I intended to. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, brother.
Actually, Steve did a great job. I kid. But yeah, I think we're getting a good deal. I don't know though. I don't know. Car Mom says we are. That's all that matters in my mind now.
Well, you can't take it back to Billy Bob's place now.
No.
Anymore.
No, there's no more Billy Bob's. I'm never going to another Oil and Lube Express ever.
Yeah.
Because they put an aftermarket filter in my fucking car. How do you do that? You literally went and bought a Taiwanese filter for a car that's not even made here in the United States or driven here in the United States and stuffed it inside of my oil filter cage.
So like a coffee filter?
You stuff it in my overhosen? You broke my overhosen. I took it to the dealership, and they said the overhosing was improperly installed.
As well as the brake fluid, or
As well as the
blinker fluid.
Well, let me tell you what, brother. I'm so sorry about that. We are definitely going to take care of that. You just got to pay for the labor, $3,000. I'll eat the parts. You get the labor. Sound like a deal? Sure, buddy. Let me see if we got any more of that premium brinker food. Premium brinker food. Right. I talk for a living. Leave me alone.
Well, good luck to you. Best to you in your
best
car
to you out there in the podcast universe. All right. I know. Everyone's settled down. Let's do this. It's been a long time since we discussed one of our favorite topics, Theresa Caputo.
Oh. Yes.
We recorded an episode yesterday where we talked about another, like, hot 7 signs that your kid might be psychic, but I don't know if that one will ever see the light of day because it wasn't that good, and I was late for a phone call, so I just cut the episode off halfway through.
I know, all of a sudden you were like,
I got panicked.
Dun, 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 dun. It was
I
like
literally was like, yeah. I do this whole song and dance to make sure I hit the post, and I was like, tcbpodcast.com. All right. Until next time, goodbye.
Like, whoa, that seemed short, but okay.
Yeah, it was, and it was not good. You come in here, you shoot 6 a week or 8 a week or whatever it is.
Sometimes there's blanks.
You're gonna shoot some blanks. That's just gonna happen. You try doing this. I was talking to another person in the podcast industry, and she says, quite frankly, what is most amazing about the commercial break is that it's 370 episodes deep.
Yes.
And I was like, I know. And she goes, because do you know how many? This is like a big wig in the industry, right? Handling a lot of different shows. Big wig. And she said, there are so many podcasts where we offer them a bunch of money. Well, she's welcome to do that to me too, by the way, if she's listening. They offer them a bunch of money, and then they ask for some upfront cash. And she's like, and we almost exclusively never do that. And here's the reason why. Because even with the shows where they're under contract for a lot of money, I can't put a gun to anybody's head and make them make content. So a lot of times they just walk away from the show. They're like, well, I didn't really have a good idea of what it was going to be in the first place, and I have no idea what I'm doing now. I just don't feel like there's any like meat and potatoes to the show.
Same.
Join the club.
Just roll with it.
Roll with it. Just pretend you know what you're doing. You think Chrissy and I put any thought into this whatsoever? We keep saying every contract period, we're like, this is it. We're going to get the big bucks.
Yep.
We're going to sit down. We're going to take
really
this more seriously.
Out.
We're going to bring in some comedy writers, actual, an executive producer types that come in and whip us into shape. And then we don't get the big dollars.
Maybe
so
we
we're
can
like,
pick up some people that are on strike right now.
It's not on strike. It's the people who are being laid off. Spotify just laid off 300 podcasts.
No, I'm talking about in the movie.
Oh, the SAG-AFTRA?
Yes.
Yeah, I just read an article that all the celebrities are going to start running to podcasts because SAG-AFTRA does not have anything to do with podcasting.
Right.
In other words, their contract, the union doesn't touch the podcast, usually, in most contracts. So what's going to happen is, they think, this person was speculating, that all of a sudden people are going to flood the zone with podcasts and pay writers big money. I got news for you. There's not a lot of money in podcasting right now. I don't know if you noticed, at least not at this level. It's really hard. It's a really tough thing to do. Yes. Even when you have 40 to 50 listeners. If I'm going to spend an extra $58,000 on that car, you know what I need? An extra 58 listeners to stay with me for the next 13 years so I can make that money back.
Oh, you're on the 13-year month plan?
Yeah, I wish they would give me a 13-year car loan because that would be down in that $600 range I was looking for. Okay, Chrissy, I was trolling on the internet.
As you do.
As I do like to do. I found I think one of the craziest videos that I have ever seen from what I would call a rather professional entertainer. Have you ever, Barbara Corcoran is?
Yeah, of course, from Shark Tank.
Barbara Corcoran.
She's like a real estate mogul.
She was a real estate mogul. She had her first business was bought for $300 million, I think it was, back when she was in her 40s. And she stayed at home to be a mom. And she said, I did that for 3 years and I couldn't do it anymore.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
Yeah, so you're telling me there's a chance. She's like, I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't handle those children.
Right.
And I think she had one child. Now, you don't have to be a mother. That's not what I'm saying. Please don't mistake what I'm saying. But Barbara Corcoran is, by all accounts, a pretty sharp businesswoman.
She seems like it.
Yeah, and pretty well respected in general. I'm going to talk about the Shark Tank one episode.
I was going to say, I don't think Mark Cuban had on anybody that was going to make him look bad. So
No, that's true. And Mark Cuban, let's be honest, is the reason why that show exists.
Yes.
Currently. Because the first 2 seasons were not good. That had that Kevin Harrington guy. Anyway, not a Shark Tank thing. I want to get into Shark Tank one day, but I don't want to get into it here. So Barbara Corcoran is doing a podcast that has been recorded and then saved on YouTube for posterity. This video has hundreds of thousands of views, and it is completely unprofessional.
well, I mean, the only reason everybody's viewing it is to look how high her hair is. My God.
Well, Barbara, wait, the
and
first...
she's so tan.
she's tanner than I am.
I know. I mean, it's
And I try. You think she's injecting that stuff into her skin?
my God.
You know, you can inject like a darkener
I did not
into your
know
blood
this.
veins.
Of course you do.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I'm looking into it currently. I can't do that sunbed anymore, so now I'm looking for alternatives. But it has turned some people rather dark.
Yeah.
And then that's a whole nother conversation. It looks like you're in blackface, and you don't want that.
No.
All right, so Barbara Corcoran's podcast, this is a number of years ago, with Theresa Caputo. To set the stage, they're sitting at a child's desk from kindergarten.
Yes, they
Am I wrong about that?
No, it's a tiny little
It's a
table.
tiny little table, and they're sitting in tiny little chairs on the floor, basically. So I can
And
imagine
there's a
everyone's
thing of
already
Wheaties
uncomfortable.
behind her.
Yeah, well, she's on the box. So there you go.
Oh, she's on the box.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things you buy at like, a gift shop at
Oh.
Opryland or something like that. Okay. Theresa Caputo being interviewed by Barbara Corcoran. Listen to how this starts off. I have to imagine this is a mistake that they didn't edit the video.
We'll talk a little bit more.
Sure. Yeah. You don't have to. You're gonna have to tell me to stop talking. You're gonna be more impressed with how my hair bounces back from these headphones
I'm already
than my
blown away.
interview.
So you guys will talk for about 30 minutes, and then we'll call the 2 callers in one by one.
You need to
and talk to
advise
them.
people.
I have a feeling.
So this is a video of her podcast, and they're literally showing
What
all the
everybody's
lead
saying,
up to this.
yeah.
Like, don't you think that Barbara would put somebody in charge that would think enough to at least cut off the beginning of this
You
episode?
would think so.
Your advice could be
Even we here at the commercial
Maybe
break
this
get
is
that part right.
Maybe this is a rogue.
A rogue employee?
a rogue employee that's put
maybe.
it out there.
I never thought
Disgruntled.
about that. But it's on her channel.
Well,
Well, maybe she hated Theresa so much, too. She decided to just put her in the worst light. Because listen to what happens here.
different than mine, which will make it interesting. Really.
I always say to my kids, I always say, people pay to hear what I have to say. You guys run for me. You hear my voice. They run for the hills.
I would look to get adopted if I was Theresa Caputo's child. Just saying.
It sounds like your kids are normal.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, good.
So this is only my 3rd podcast that I haven't done many podcasts. I did one years ago with Pat Monahan. He's a friend of mine from Train.
Yeah.
And
From Train!
what? From the band Train?
Looks up there from the atmosphere. She's got a microphone in her hair. Hey,
He's a friend of mine.
She tans all black and she looks all blue. She'll talk to ghosts that are fucking you. Yeah. Yeah.
it was at Kim Zolciak. I was promoting my show and I did one. But I never did one like this. So it's a little intimidating.
You never did one like this?
Like this? Like
You mean in
it's just
children's
headphones-
chairs and a
It's
desk?
just headphones and a microphone.
I know. She's such a twat.
With the headphones.
Come on.
Yeah.
Are you sure you're comfortable on that head? Because it
Oh,
looks
I'm
like the
fine.
headphones are slipping off your wig.
No. Well, that's because I don't have a wig, so they're not slipping.
Ah!
Barbara.
Getting a sly little
Boom.
jab in there. Yeah, I get the sense that Barbara really doesn't like Theresa, but she's just, this is years ago, so she's probably just piggy fronting off the fame.
Piggy
Yeah. She doesn't have a wig, my ass.
Barbara.
Looks just like a wig.
It looks just like a wig.
Not it doesn't look real. It looks just
Like a wig. What a high compliment.
Yeah.
Okay, so where am I going to start? Okay, so what's it like to talk to dead people? Well, today we have with us Theresa Caputo, who you probably all know much more. Today we have with us Theresa Caputo, and you probably know her as the Long Island Medium. She's going to share with us how she handles this gift she has, or I might even call it a superpower. She talks to dead people. Let's hear what it's all about.
She talks to dead people. First of all, Barbara's making a mess of this intro.
I know.
Did she even read this beforehand?
No,
Sounds like an episode of the commercial break.
I know, and it's like so unedited. She was
It's
like, she stopped.
very
She was like,
unedited. Yeah, She does that
Okay.
actor's trick. She
Yes.
goes, She gets out her crutch words when she does the retake.
Okay.
I think that's an actor's trick.
Okay.
I think I made that up in my head, one of the two. It's a new acting trick. Bryan Green's School of Acting and Podcasting and car buying.
You like that, Cindy?
That was great.
Okay.
That was great.
that was great.
That was great. We'll fix it in post. Fuck it. We'll fix it in post.
I'm almost frightened to sit here with you. I'm afraid you're going to call my mom, dad, and you're going to yell at me from the past or something.
Absolutely, nothing like that.
Okay.
Nothing.
Nothing like that. I don't offend anybody because then I don't get them to come back to my show.
It's off limits, just for the information.
Off
here, it's
limits.
Off limits. Okay. But tell me what a medium really is, because a lot of people have their own idea about what a
Have
medium
doubts.
is or isn't.
Yeah, I have doubts. Let me tell you what my interpretation of a medium is. It's not someone who's totally bullshitting you, and it's not someone who's being really honest with you. We're somewhere in the middle. We're medium bullshitters. That's what we are. We're trying to be nice to you.
And can you really talk to dead people? Talk to dead people.
Well, I have the ability to sense and feel our departed loved ones. You know, people always say, you're psychic. I don't predict the future. I don't want people's loved ones telling them what they should or shouldn't do with their life decisions and choices. From a very young age of 4.
I'm pretty sure she has told people, though, in passings that we watched,
Yes.
that their loved ones
One wants them to do this. They
go
want
on
to
that
move
trip.
on. Go on that trip.
and do this.
Fuck
and
the
do-
pool boy like
Yeah.
you have been since before I died. That's what I'll be saying to Astrid. She tells people what to do all the time. This is all horseshit.
I
This
want
is
to come one day with my hair like that.
you do?
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, if anybody knows, and I don't think you do, and I think there's a few people who have said they're Theresa Caputo fans, they've been to the shows, and I understand there's some of our listeners like Theresa Caputo. If you believe in this, cool. If you think it works for you, cool. I don't, and that must be obvious by now. But to each their own. Like, we don't all have to agree on everything. Yeah. But if you know Theresa Caputo and you think for any reason she would come on this show, I would gladly have her and hear her out. But she has to be ready to answer the tough questions. And the tough questions are not, when did your psychic medium powers start? Because that just gives her room to bullshit. I want to know what her psychic medium powers are. Talk to a person. I want you to talk to a dead person right now. And I want you to talk to Chrissy. Mm-hmm. Chrissy, when I'm dead, you go to Theresa Caputo and you tell her that secret word. Do you remember what the secret word is?
I know we have one.
You don't know what it is.
But I forgot.
You should probably write it down.
Okay, let me write it in the notebook.
Do you know what it is?
Is that it?
No, I just made that one up.
You don't.
But I don't remember it either.
I'm putting it on the treaty.
All right.
I've had the ability to sense and feel things that nobody else was in the room, and I was. I would see. So I can remember a clear vision at 4 years old, always seeing a woman standing at the end of my bed.
Wow,
at night.
Freaky.
But to me, that was normal.
But as a 4-year-old
woman standing.
Hello,
The white
Theresa. You can talk to dead. I'm going to do this to my kids. Hi, kids. You can talk to dead people with TLC producers. So make sure we have a good agent. Keep talking to dead people, kids. It's going to pay off big time. Woo! Last night after I was trying to put the kids to bed and I needed something on the bedside table, but we have this sign, when the kids aren't quite asleep, you don't want to interrupt. Yes. You don't want to walk in because then they get all excited. Daddy, daddy. So she's like waving me off. And so I hit the floor and I crawled over to the bedside table. And I thought, I'm going to scare the shit out of my kids. They're going to be like, ah! Yeah.
Laying in your bed at night and you see somebody at the foot of your bed, I would think any child would be frightened to death. That didn't frighten you?
Remembering it at that time, no, at that exact moment. but my mom would say that I would wake up with blood-curdling screams, screaming, and like somebody was
So she
literally
was scared.
Ah! I'm getting bedhead. Bedhead is how this all started.
Yeah.
attacking me. And there would be no one in my room. I didn't sleepwalk. I would just get up and would just have extreme anxiety and felt like I needed to get out of that room, out of that bed, and I just didn't want to be in there.
And you actually remember that as a child?
I remember that as a child.
I do remember 3 years old, being 3 years old. Who remembers being 3
No
years old? No
one.
one.
Yes. That
Were they bad people in your room? Whoever was
No.
hanging out of your bed?
No.
How,
What I
why
found-
No, they were the perfectly lovely kind of ghosts. You know, the kind that float around and jump on one knee.
That's why I was screaming.
Yeah. Can you imagine all these ghosts jumping around and fucking a horse or whatever sign she gets for
Piggy
whatever?
fronting.
Piggy fronting.
What I found out later in life, it was my great-grandmother who had passed before I was even born.
Oh my gosh.
That was the first soul that I can remember seeing.
And when you, let me...
And I would never communicate with her. I would always just see her and feel her.
When you were feeling her and waking up with a scream...
Hey, Grandma. You got tight buns, Grandma.
When you were feeling her.
Hi, it's me, little Theresa Caputo. Hey, Grandma, come here. Let me feel your breasticles. I can feel you, Grandma.
No shit. I'm still alive. I'm sleeping in your room.
I can smell a great mighty wind.
That's your grandma. All that prune juice.
and being so frightened as a 4-year-old, were you actually thinking there was someone there to harm you, or was it a good energy, or was it simply you were afraid because you didn't understand what was going on?
I didn't understand what was going
And
on.
who did you tell?
I would just say this, someone in my parents.
Did she think you're crazy, your mom?
No, because I come from a very spiritual and a strong
Oh, that's it. She comes from a long line of bullshitters.
Yeah. Exactly. It's the spirit.
It's the spirit. Oh, Theresa has the gift.
Yeah, she does.
She's got the gift. She's on a period? No, that's a psychic gift, you asshole. I was about to say, 4 years old's a little young. But with all the hormones they're putting in the milk these days, you never know. You mean she's going to be a bullshitter too? Good. Because you ain't making any money. I don't know if you noticed. $5 of reading my ass.
family. I mean, my brother still tells the story of one night that I convinced my parents looking in my window.
Wait, hold on. I want to hear that
with
part.
big green eyes. That at like 3 o'clock in the morning, he had my dad out there on the ladder on the roof and my brother, and it turned out to be my neighbor's cat.
No.
I swear.
Turned out to be my neighbor's
I
cat.
would be pissed.
With big green eyes.
I was her dad. He's
Yeah.
out on a ladder at
He's
3
out on
a.m.
She's not out on a ladder.
I
She's 4 years old. What does she
I
know? This is all horse shit. It's a made up story.
A psychic phenomenon.
That's like, but I, what I was sensing and feeling was.
I'm assuming her father has passed away.
Yes.
Yes.
He's passed.
Of course, because he can't verify
in
that story.
spirit.
That's right.
He's a spirit.
was real, and I can feel that watching over. But no one ever really
No,
made a
actually,
big deal.
I think that her parents are still alive. She mentioned that in another thing. I don't know how long ago this was, but
Yeah. She's probably like, Mom, Dad, I just need you to agree with this one totally bullshit story. And then I promise I'll leave you
remember
alone.
the time when you thought the cat was
Yeah.
a person?
No. Do you remember? You were 4, Theresa. Stop with the kashbukta.
Things that I would say. I might bring up people that have died in the past, or I would just say things, and nobody ever really made a big deal about it. They just embraced it.
I would just see things also when I was a child.
Yeah.
Because I was a child who had a vivid imagination. Who turned into a teenager who had a vivid imagination. Who turned into a 20-year-old who lost his vivid imagination but gained mushrooms. So
Yes.
there you go. Vivid
get it back.
imagination returned.
You had the perfect family to welcome your difference,
I did.
which you can't say about a lot of families.
No.
You might have just as easily been labeled a freak, some kind.
Oh, I say that all the time. I might have been diagnosed maybe with schizophrenia or some other type of disorder.
It's not
Is
over
there
yet.
still time?
It's not over yet, Teresa.
The same thing.
It's never too late to be institutionalized. That's what I always say.
If I was with a different family. I say this all the time also. I know my path has been chosen, and this is my soul's destiny, because I feel that I've lived a very privileged life. And when I say privileged, I don't mean by financial means. Privileged to have
let's add that to it.
Theresa, your whole life, your whole adult life, at least since we've known you, which is going on 20 or maybe 30 years now, has been geared toward making money. It's not helping people. You don't give a shit. You know what it is? It's about scamming people into believing that you're helping them so that you can sell tickets to your performances and make sure that people watch your television show, which I noticed is conveniently not around anymore. It's not. I haven't seen it in a long time.
No.
At least not on TLC, which it used to be on.
Which is
and
the
trust me,
network.
I am tuned in.
Yes, you are.
Yes, I am.
loving and supportive family.
Of course.
I only lost my grandparents within the past 10 years, so I was well into my 40s, still having my grandparents here. I still live right next door to my parents, and I'm 52.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Even though Wikipedia says I'm 53. Don't believe everything you read.
I'm 52, not 53. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck?
She looks like an old 53, though.
She looks like an old 63-year-old, if I'm being honest.
classify. I mean, with the tan and the hair and the nails and everything.
Yeah, she makes herself look so much older than
I
she
think
actually
so,
is.
Yeah.
What difference does a year make?
Exactly. A lot.
But how about, tell me about the dead people. Tell me
Tell me about the dead. Yeah, I've been collecting them in my backyard.
Barbara.
I'd like to visit grave sites.
Get to the point. Tell me
Yeah.
about the dead people.
What I would ask her is, when you drive by a graveyard, do you
Cemetery?
see extra dead people? Yeah.
Got to. That seems like a place for everybody to hang out.
Yeah. Maybe that should be where your next show is. I'm literally raising the dead.
specifically about the dead people. Are they happy to be dead? I've always wondered.
Are they happy to be
Barbara,
dead?
who's
I've
writing
always
these questions
wondered.
for you? I've always wondered. Yeah, I'm sure that's like
Oh, my God.
happy to be dead. If they're happy to be dead, yet they're constantly pining to get at their old relatives. And it's, if you think about that question for 2 seconds, it doesn't make much sense.
No.
Well, I think this is, again, one of the misconceptions that people have of what I do. That they show me the other side, that I have this untold vision or story about heaven or what the souls of the
Special
departed
access,
do.
maybe.
Yeah. But what it is, and this is why I'm explaining this to you, Barbara, is because
It's because I need you to believe me, and it's really, quite frankly, a lot of horse shit. So I need you to open your mouth up wide while I shovel the horse shit right in there.
it all came through the process of me accepting who God intended me to be here in the physical world, my soul's journey. Because growing up, I never felt complete. I always felt that there was something missing. And I share this part of my story.
Oh, poor Theresa.
Money. Money
Yeah,
was missing.
that's right. What was missing is the tour bus with
Yes.
50 versions of your wig in the back.
Because I found out a lot of people might feel that way. Maybe it's with a relationship, a job.
Oops, sorry about that.
And it wasn't until I embraced my gift is when I felt complete. That's when I know that it's my destiny. So I struggled with, why was I chosen? What am I supposed to do with this? Who's going to want to come and see a medium and speak to their relatives that have died?
And this
Oh my God, come on, Theresa. Who's going to want to come to a medium and see that their relatives have died?
That's been going on for thousands of years.
It's been going on since the fucking 1400s,
Yeah.
I think, is these psychic mediums that pop out of nowhere. There was a famous guy who, psychic medium back in the, I can't remember when it was. He like lived in every decade and he was traveling around telling people their fortunes and dead people and all this other stuff. This is a well-worn con. It's been going on forever.
Well, and it preys on everyone, including everyone from 2 years old
That's it.
up to 100 of why.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
Why? What happened? Why?
What happened? I don't know.
Matthias just said it out there. Why?
Yeah.
Can I not get my special toothpaste?
Why can't I have my toothpaste
from Amazon
today?
And that's what the adults want to know too. Why?
Yeah, why?
What happened?
Why? That's what we're all looking for, the big why.
Yes.
When, Teresa, when you were a kid, you accepted
was-
this, or you were already grown up?
I was grown. It was later in my 20s.
Raising a family.
Raising a family. I just had my daughter, Victoria.
And you had
I just had my daughter Victoria. She also has the gift. And then my husband.
I was going out of my mind.
That's right. I couldn't take it anymore. Just like you, Barbara. We weren't cut out to be parents. I'm more of a free spirit. No pun intended. I love using that one.
Free spirit.
So I told my lazy husband, you've lost your 5th job this week. I am now going to sell readings for $5 a piece on the corner.
You to have different spirits welcome themselves into your life, and then you finally said one day, hey, this is a gift, I should do something more with it and bring it to other people.
Yes, because I didn't realize how life-changing it was.
And how were you using it up until then?
I wasn't using my gift. I was blocking it.
The spirits were still visiting? Or
I was blocking it.
Yep.
That's so she can, in her biography, she can cover that convenient part of her life when she wasn't, in fact, a psychic bullshit medium. She was just a regular human being. It was in her late 20s when she saw that other people were making money doing this that she decided she too could do
She
this.
unblocked.
Yes, she unblocked. I'm unblocking now too, Chrissy. There's a man behind you whacking off with his ghost penis, and that's him telling me that you need to buy a new car. Anytime I see jizz, I know it has to do with a car or a trip or a house or a makeover.
I was blocking them out, and I was ignoring what I was sensing and feeling.
So if a spirit wanted to visit you, for example, even back in that chapter of your life, they don't bang down the door. They don't say, let me in or I'm going to kill you.
No.
Barbara.
Theresa, it's me, Mr. Spirit. You better let me in. You got a lot of questions to answer. My wife, who's still on Earth, is running around my graveyard asking when I'm gonna come back. It's all your fault, Theresa. Mr. Spirit doesn't agree.
I'm going to kill you.
I'm going to kill you when I get my hands back. Not even sure how I knocked on that door. The only thing I've found that works in the real world is an erect penis. I can do that with my head. My dick head. It's amazing, quite frankly. It's really quite fascinating how these penises work in the afterlife. In either case, I'm coming to kill you, Theresa.
They just will graciously leave if they're not welcomed.
I used to, like I would just not answer them or acknowledge their presence. So what happens is I start to feel certain things. And then when the spirit puts...
That's my spirit penis. I'm poking around your head, seeing if that's a wig. Why is your head so hard, Theresa?
pushes me enough to get me to say something is when I know when to proceed with what I'm sensing and feeling.
Well, I know when you know when to proceed is when you start just throwing out general statements and saying, "Has anybody ever had somebody that had legs?" Yes, we did. Okay, now then you start narrowing it down. You're proceeding.
Who here sees colors? You've got a gift. I've got your uncle right here. You have an uncle? No. Do you have a dead aunt? No.
I'm seeing a pair of glasses.
Oh, there's someone back there that has a dead aunt. That's you. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Sorry, you.
Yeah, it's
I meant you.
general.
Yeah, it's very general. That's right. Who here has ever had hair? Spirits telling me something. They're waving their arms. Their chest is literally on fire. You know what that means? Time for breakfast. I'm hungry. Anybody got Chick-fil-A biscuits? Chick-fil-A biscuits.
But I just want you to understand why I also chose to do what I do. Is because I found out from sensing, I had gone to a spiritual awareness class to learn how to...
Spiritual awareness class.
Well, now she's qualified. Now we know.
She's got a certified degree from Spiritual Awareness Academy of America.
She took a class.
That's right.
I don't know where.
SAAA. SA. I've got a degree from SA.
Or from SAC.
Yeah.
Spiritual Awareness class.
Spiritual Awareness Accreditation Committee. The SAC. I've got 2 sacks. I've got 2 really big sacks. What a yahoo.
Relax. I had a lot of extreme anxiety. I couldn't leave my house because I'm empathic, so I feel how other people feel. I feel the soul, how they died, what they want to communicate to their loved one.
Just walking around the street. So you go to your local delicatessen.
But you just said that you don't
didn't.
do that.
Yeah.
You're so full of shit, you can't keep your bullshit straight,
No,
Theresa.
she just said, I don't tell people what they want to hear,
No.
that their relatives are saying, and
It's unbelievable. All right, running up against the hour. Let's continue
I
this
think
next
so.
episode because this is good. We've
Yeah.
never heard the origin story. And so far, it doesn't matter. It's still all bullshit.
Sack.
Yeah, sack. Sack.
It's me, Mr. Spirit. I just wanted to say hello. Welcome to you're the newest sack packer. Welcome to the sack pack. I am your host, Mr. Spirit.
Oh my God. Drives. I know. Barbara, what are you doing?
I don't know what
Don't give this lady a platform. See, everybody's struggling to find content on the podcast. It's just how it goes. And that, my friends, is how you do a callback. TCBpodcast.com. That's where you go for more information about Chrissy and I. You can watch all the videos, listen to all the audio, get the show notes, special discount codes from our sponsors, all that good stuff. And if you're ever in the market for our product spots, for our sponsors' products or services, that really does help the show. It's like putting money in our pocket. Go there, use our specialized URLs or codes. We leave them all on the website. We certainly would appreciate it. YouTube.com/The Commercial Break. Fully edited episodes the same day they air here on the audio feed. They're funny. They're fun. You can watch them while you're driving. I highly recommend that. Or you can listen to them while you're driving and watch them at the stoplight. Whatever you choose to do, whatever's safe for you and your family. 855-TCB-8383. That's 1-855-TCB-8383. Toll free from anywhere in the world. We'll be happy to pick up the charges. Just leave us a comment, question, content idea, or concern. We'll take them all. And if you want your free 21 ejaculations per month sticker, 21 EPM sticker, you can get that at the website. Go to the Contact Us button. Leave us your physical address. Tell us you want the sticker, if you want anything else written on it or whatever, and we'll do that for you. At The Commercial Break on Instagram. TCB Podcast on TikTok. You got to follow us. Stay engaged. Please do it. Okay. Well, this has been a good one. We'll pick it up next episode.
That's right.
But, you know, I got other things to do. I got to go drop a shitload of money on a car.
That's right.
So until next time, Chrissy, that's all I can do for today.
I think so.
So I love you.
I love you.
Best to you.
And best to you.
And best to you out there in the podcast universe. Until next time, Chrissy and I always say, we do say, and we must say, goodbye.